Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko has expressed concern about the heightened risk of military incidents along the Belarus-Ukraine border. According to Russia's state-run RIA news agency, Lukashenko emphasized that neighboring Poland should not anticipate aggressive actions from Belarus. Despite this, Belarus has relocated several combat-ready battalions from the Vitebsk region, which borders Russia, to the western part of the country. In a separate report by Russian state-run TASS news agency, Lukashenko suggested that conditions were ripe for Russia-Ukraine peace talks. He indicated that preliminary texts discussed between Russian and Ukrainian officials during the early weeks of the war could serve as a starting point for negotiations. Notably, Lukashenko, a close ally of President Vladimir Putin, also warned that there could be an apocalypse if Russia resorted to nuclear weapons in retaliation for Western actions. In other developments, Russia is contemplating downgrading its diplomatic relations with the U.S. if Western governments proceed with proposals to confiscate Russian frozen assets. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov stated that Moscow would respond both economically and politically if such assets were seized. Meanwhile, Ukraine has sentenced a husband and wife to 15 years in prison for providing information to Russia that enabled a rocket strike on a hospital. The Security Services of Ukraine, SBU, also detained a former soldier accused of assisting Russia in plotting strikes in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The husband and wife, convicted on treason charges, allegedly shared information about Ukrainian army positions, including locations of medical facilities for wounded soldiers. The SBU claims that they facilitated the shelling of a local hospital in Kherson. Additionally, the SBU apprehended another former serviceman accused of aiding Russian forces in coordinating attacks in the same region. This suspect, facing up to 8 years in prison, attempted to flee to Russian-held territory, influenced by his parents living in occupied areas. Furthermore, Ukrainian forces successfully repelled a Russian sabotage group in the northeastern Sumy region. The Russian troops were pushed back using artillery and mortar fire. It's worth noting that Moscow's forces had entered the Sumy region after the Kremlin launched the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, but were subsequently repelled by Ukrainian forces. In a related context, Poland has the potential to assist in returning Ukrainians of military age back to Ukraine. With tens of thousands of Ukrainian men of military age residing on its territory, Poland could play a role in replenishing Ukraine's depleted and exhausted military. Ukraine is facing a critical shortage of troops after more than 2 years of war, prompting urgent efforts to recruit new soldiers. Recently, the country passed a mobilization law that not only lowers the minimum fighting age, but also imposes stricter penalties on draft dodgers. Late on Wednesday, Ukraine announced that it would halt the issuance of new passports abroad for some military-age men. This move comes as part of a broader effort to encourage these men to return home and contribute to the war effort. The decision has sparked controversy among expatriates in Poland and other countries. Poland's defense minister, Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz, expressed willingness to assist in bringing military-aged Ukrainian men back to their homeland. He stated that Poland had long offered to help ensure that those subject to compulsory military service fulfill their duties in Ukraine. When asked if Poland would agree to transport draft-eligible individuals to Ukraine, Kosiniak-Kamysz responded, "Everything is possible." The situation highlights the challenges Ukraine faces in maintaining its armed forces amid ongoing conflict with Russia. While martial law prohibits most men aged 18 to 60 from leaving Ukraine during the war, thousands have left the country illegally. As the mobilization law takes effect, efforts to bolster manpower continue, and neighboring countries like Poland may play a role in supporting Ukraine's military efforts.